Pronunciation Pro.
Pronunciation Pro.
Hello again, and welcome to the Pronunciation Pro podcast. I am so excited today to be here with our special guest, Hadeer Mohamed, and she is coming to us from Egypt. She lives in Egypt, and a little bit about Hadeer. Well, first of all, hi, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to do a little introduction of Hadeer because Hadeer has been such an amazing student at Pronunciation Pro. She has been working with us for about the last year. Is that right?
About a year. Yeah.
About a year. Yeah. And so Hadeer lives in Egypt, never been to the United States. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Amazing. So never been to the United States. She's been working on her pronunciation and accent and building her confidence in the Pronunciation Pro program. And Hadeer works for a US based company, a real estate company. And so she's on the phones all day talking to people from the US, native English speakers, and so she has been highly, highly motivated, like more motivated than I've ever seen anyone really, to just really work hard and do the best that she can. So Hadeer has a very high standard for herself. And I have really respected that and have been really impressed with her drive and conviction to learn the American accent. So excited to learn about your journey today and learn more about you, Hadeer.
Thank you so much, Annie. I'm really, really flattered, and I'm really grateful that I'm here today. I was actually very excited when you told me that we're gonna do this. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, excellent. We're just so excited. I'm excited to learn more about your journey and kind of what motivated you to come here, come to Pronunciation Pro and your journey through it. So we'll kind of go from there. But I think that this episode is going to really connect with our students who've maybe never been in the US or feel like they have to have lived in an English speaking country in order to achieve a high level of success in their English pronunciation and accent. So I think that that's a really exciting part about your story and what we'll kind of dive into here. Okay. All right. So just as a start, I want to hear kind of the beginnings of your English language journey and any specific stories or experiences that you had that kind of sparked that interest of really developing this skill.
Well, I would say like I put English into practice 8 years ago.
Okay.
I learned the vocab, I learned the grammar and everything, in school, high school. And then we had that job. It's very high pay. And I was like very interested in, getting that job. And I was like, I'm kind of gifted. I have a nice voice and a nice accent. Let's just try this. And I was not fluent back then. I quite remember that. I was not fluent. But I had this idea of, oh my goodness, if I get this, it's going to be amazing and it's going to be amazing for my future. So I started working. It took me like, I'd say 3 to 4 months to reach that fluency level. And man, it was not easy. It was not easy at all. I had to learn everything on my own. I quite remember no one helped me, direct me to do anything. I'd go and, write everything down as far as grammar rules and vocab and everything. And then I'd like practice on my own. And I figured that after like 3 to 4 months, I can express myself pretty good. So that was something, in the past. When I came across your program, I was shifting from British call center to American call center.
Okay.
So that was kind of big to me. The transition there, I was like, oh my goodness, that's like different accent, different style of speaking and everything. And I was very, very happy that I found your program because it was really different. You were addressing everything, the feelings, the emotions, and everything. And it's like, that's it. That's all I need. And when I came to your program, I was like really happy because when I first met you, like you're like at a such high level. I like that. You still have few minor things to work on, and I couldn't really figure that out on my own. You're
Oh,
like a
okay.
great support and great help,
Yeah, so when we
really.
came, yeah, and that was the thing, is that you came to us and you were coming to the group lessons, and you were at such a high, you were already at a very high level. You had already done so much work. You said 8 years. You were kind of working on things for 8 years. And how long were you in the kind of British call center?
I'd say like year and a half.
A year
Year
and a
and a
half.
half.
Okay.
When I first started, it was a British call center. Yeah.
Okay. And that was kind of there at the beginning after you had done that 3 or 4 months.
Yes.
Okay, so then you did the call center for a year and a half, and then you kind of wanted to switch over to the American call
Yeah.
center.
Yep.
Okay. And did you have any trouble with getting a job in that area, or was your English, to the point where you felt like you could, or that you were able to get that job pretty easily?
I think I got the job pretty easily. I still had some, I think, like minor British influence on my accent. It was
Mm-hmm.
hard to switch to certain words.
Okay.
Uh, and I quite remember that.
Yeah.
But
Do you
then
remember any specific words or anything specific from that?
I tried to remember, but I can't really remember right now. But it was like a couple of words, man, it was hard for me. It was really hard. And then I figured, no, now it's different. And I honestly like the American accent more, to be completely
Oh,
honest.
okay. Yeah. And
So
why
it
is
was
that?
like, it's more casual, it's chilling. It's like, I don't know, I think like British people need to chill. For
Yeah.
real. It's very heavy, I guess. It's amazing, it sounds very professional, but it's not what I wanted for myself.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm gonna actually go back a little bit to when you said you had 3 or 4 months where you were really learning English and practicing the grammar and vocabulary. What exactly did that look like for you, like on a day-to-day basis?
Man, yeah, that was like quite long time ago. Okay, so what I would do as the way I was thinking about it is that I need to express myself in a proper way so that people can understand me. And I
Mm-hmm.
need to say sentence and phrases in the right tense so that people can know and can relate to what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I would go and write down the grammar rules for 3 to 4 pages,
Okay.
and then I'd go watch a movie and pause every now and then and see, okay, so in that phrase, in that scene, they were talking in the past, like in the present perfect, in the past perfect. Oh, because that has to do with an experience they had, or because that was in the past, or and I pause and it's like, okay, got it. Next. And I'd watch the movie a couple of times,
Yeah.
and on different piece of paper, I will go ahead and write some vocab that I like hear I think is commonly used or something. I just write that down. And
Mm-hmm.
I get back to them every couple of days, rewatch the whole thing again, listen to the accent, get back to the words, get back to the grammar rules, and then, okay, yeah, I kind of get it. And then I started practicing on my own. I'd have a conversation with myself about anything. So I'd be working like 3 to 4 hours a day on my vocab and grammar.
Yeah.
I didn't find it hard. I was really passionate about this.
Okay.
But when I first started, it was British English, so it was
Okay.
different for me. BBC Learning English, and I was watching Matthew Hossey and some British people back then.
Okay.
But yeah,
Do you
that's
have an
it.
idea of kind of where that drive or passion came from? What was kind of that underlining purpose or goal, or what was it that sparked that?
Again. Just I'm gonna be transparent. The money is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, yeah. No, and if that's the driving force, is there are so many opportunities financially to having, good clear English.
Yes. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna, you know, get myself whatever I wanted. And I really liked my voice. I like how I talk to people. I like listening to my old recordings, and I'd be happy about it, I think. I feel good about speaking fluently different language. I
Mm-hmm.
genuinely do. Yeah.
That's amazing. Good. And so, yeah, so when you came to Pronunciation Pro, you first started in the group classes and you did that for quite a while. And it was a very high level. You were at a high level. And so when you would come to group, we'd give you feedback to kind of work on some things at a higher level. But you said that that was kind of a confidence booster for you to get that feedback, right? Kind of
Yes.
help me on what was that like for you when you were first getting into the group training?
So every time I join a study group, I'd be, oh my goodness, very excited to have a feedback because I know that's gonna help me sound more native. And whenever I'd be like, okay, there's like a study group in 30 minutes, for instance. I'd be like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get this. And I'd be super, just waiting. And whenever I get in there, I see Lori, I see that great community, and I feel very awesome because everyone is really fighting and everyone is really struggling to learn to be better every single day. It's not easy. And whenever I get a feedback, I'd be like, okay, that's it. I need to work on this for this week.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it's a lot of awareness because I cannot tell, I'm not an expert, so I cannot tell what kind of mistakes I'm making. So I need some sort of feedback. So whenever I get that feedback, I go and work on it. So
Excellent.
honestly, very excited. When I was using the basic plan, I was very, very excited to, join every single week.
That's amazing. And so just yeah, talking about the community, it is such an exciting community, right? The people and the energy and coming
Very
together and working
engaging.
together.
Yeah, very
Yes.
engaging. And they would give me compliments and they would just tell me, yes, like we can relate to you. It's wonderful community. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think that there's so much power in that because we have there's some apps that can kind of give feedback and the technology is coming along. But have you ever tried any kind of the voice recognition apps or kind of that strategy of learning?
Yeah, I speak with ChatGPT all the time.
Oh,
She's my
okay.
best friend. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you've kind of used that method too. So I what I like is it doesn't have to be one or the other, right? Is that we when we get that collection and especially as you get a higher level like you were or that you are getting more higher level feedback and getting kind of that community and it's really quite motivating.
Yes. Very much motivating. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, and then you decided to jump into some private one-on-one lessons with us. Tell me kind of what motivated you to jump into kind of that level, that style of learning.
It's one thing you mentioned at the beginning. You're like, if you're at a pretty high level, it's gonna be hard for you to pick on the small little things on your own. It's gonna be very hard.
Mhm.
And then I was very, I think I paused for a while and then I got back to the program. When I got back, I was like, I want to do something different and I really want to level up and be better. And I remember I talked to you and you told me, yeah, it's gonna be beneficial for you. Just go ahead and do that. And yes, it was only 3 months, but the results were amazing. Really. I know I'm maybe still making some sound errors or something, but I know what I'm doing wrong and how to correct it. And for the most part, people do not even pick up on the accent anymore. So that is
Okay.
that is huge.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about like working with that one with Lori one on one and kind of having that private training. What was that process like for you? What, was it yeah, just tell me more about your experience with that.
First off, I got the accent assessment results. So she told me what to work on, what I need to work on. And she started to, every single session, she'd be picking one sound mistake, one sound error I need to work on and work with me on it. And
Mhm.
she would teach me the tongue position, how to move my tongue, and how to move my mouth. And she would tell me how different it is that I'm sounding it out than the actual sound. And then I'd be like, okay, it's not easy at the beginning, but I'll get back and listen to the recording, and I just get the idea, and it's easier for me. So it's like every single time she gets focused on one sound and get me better at that.
Mhm. Because it really is a process of tuning your ear to that sound as far as like what you're doing versus what a native speaker would do, and really trying to bridge that gap between. And so much of it is helping you hear it and get the repetition so that you can say it
Yes,
on your own.
now I can hear it. Now I'm very aware of it.
Oh, isn't that amazing? That's an
Yeah.
and that's something that I think a lot of people think that that's not possible as an adult, that you can kind of shift that like you can't hear it different as an adult, but really you can. And you're living proof of that you're like, "Oh, I
Yes.
hear it now." Mhm.
Yeah, I'm 30 now, and
Mhm.
like just a couple of months ago, I realized that some sounds, some vowels, for me, it sounds more British,
Yeah.
and I needed to work on that to make them like more American. And I think I'm getting way better right now.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I can sound those out way better.
Okay. Wonderful. And tell me a little bit more about just the confidence journey. Like how you felt as far as building your confidence, because I do remember you coming kind of at the beginning, and you really wanted this perfect, accent. And so we're like, okay, we'll work on it. But there was a little bit of self-doubt, or I'm not sure if I'm doing this right. And versus now, I feel so much more confidence from you. And so tell me how you felt through the journey.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, as I mentioned, I'm not an expert, so I cannot really tell. But I got some confidence from you guys when you like listen to me and correct me and give me like a feedback on just minor stuff. So I'd be like, okay, so maybe I really sound good. So the feedback were amazing and were very powerful because I'm getting a feedback from a certified accent trainer. So she's 100% right.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, by time, yeah, as I mentioned, it was only like 3 months worth of private training, and I already got a feedback of not having any accent at all. Some people will not pick up on the accent anymore. So that was very, very valuable for me and very amazing. So that definitely enhanced my confidence
Yeah.
very much. Yeah.
Good. Good. And tell me you had kind of mentioned some comments that people have made either on the phone or in your daily life that helped you realize, "Oh, I am getting much better." What were some of those? Can you kind of remember some of those?
Yeah, my colleague reached out to me very recently. I think it was like 10 days ago or like couple of weeks ago. And I mentioned to her that I'm working on my accent. And she's like, "Really? Oh my God, your accent is amazing. How are you doing that?" So you have an accent trainer, that's why your accent is good. And
Mhm.
she never mentioned that to me before, but I think because we had a training session where a mentor would come and listen to our calls, and she gave her a feedback on the accent, and she complimented her because she speaking two different languages. She
Mhm.
didn't pick up on my accent, and didn't say anything. So I reached out to her and asked her if she knows I'm from Egypt, and she said no, I didn't hear any accent. And it was kind of, oh, okay, that was very recent. I was
Yeah.
like, wow, I think I'm getting very close, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, that's fantastic. It really is so nice when you start getting that feedback other places and realizing, "Oh yeah, this is working."
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. And much I have like so much confidence right now, I guess. I know I'm still making mistakes every now and then, but for the most part, I feel I feel great. I really do.
So tell me how that confidence affects your work, your day, daily life, like how does that translate into your life? How does it
I don't know.
change things, I guess?
I think it makes me more passionate about being more and at least like keeping that level. Because every time I hear a positive feedback, I'd be like, "Oh my goodness, I did all the work and I deserve this. It's paying off.
Yes.
It's
Good.
paying off." And I'm getting chosen for very high pay jobs because of my English level.
Mm,
So that's kind of for me when I started working on the private training, I was like, I'm investing myself. And it was 100% worth it, really.
mm. Yes. I love that. Yeah, you're investing in yourself and it pays off. It has a direct correlation to how much you can really get paid. So it makes sense to be able to put that investment into yourself and that time and energy. And I just have to say I'm so proud of you for what you
Thank you.
accomplished and the work that you put into it, because that dedication and that time and that effort, not everybody does that. There's a reason why not everybody achieves that higher level of their accent, because not everybody is willing to do the work to make that happen, and you did that. So congratulations.
Thank you so much, Annie. And
Mm,
honestly, I think it's very hard when you live in different country. I live far away from the US. It's really, really a struggle.
mm-hmm,
And I I think the only thing that got me through is the passion. I was very
mm-hmm.
passionate about this, very much, and I still am because I still have a lot to work on, I guess.
Good for you. Yeah, that passion really does it has driven you, and that's amazing. Yeah, I remember when you first came to the program, I remember doing a confidence coaching with you. Do you remember this? Where you were
Yes.
so adamant,
I
like, if because I don't live in the US, this is a
yeah,
huge problem, right? You were
yes,
like, really
yes.
like, this is a problem for me. And if only I lived in the US, it would be better. And I love the shift that has happened for you. So you remember that coaching
I
session?
I remember that. And by the way, I'd get back and listen to the recording.
Oh, you
Every
went back and
session,
listened to it?
100 times. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I'd get back and listen to everything you said and Lori said,
Oh,
and just
good.
take a note of it. But that was very touching, that session.
Mhm.
I was like, it's
Yeah.
hard, it's hard. I'm really working hard and it's not easy. I'm struggling every single day and it's
Yeah.
not easy. And you were like, do you want this to be easy? It it should be hard. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, and that's what I love is that you dove into the accent training, you also dove into the confident mindset training, and you really started shifting some things, and that combination really made a huge difference for you, I think.
I think because I'm a very sensitive person. So whenever I know there's a confident mindset training, I'd be like, oh boy, I'm in. I'm in 100%. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you took it seriously. That was wonderful. Well, good for you. Okay. So, just in parting, are there a little bit of advice that you have for our listeners of, as they're going through this journey and they're kind of working on building their accent and their confidence in their spoken English and really trying to find that voice for themselves? Do you have some advice from your experience that you would like to share?
I think it's patience and consistency.
Mm,
You need to do the work every single day, no matter what happens. You don't have to listen to other people. You need to have that passion and that willingness to do the thing or to do the work by your own. No one is gonna help you. No one is here to save you. You need to do the work for yourself. So I remember times I would be very frustrated and very nervous and feeling really bad and exhausted, and I just take a minute and then I'd get back and work hard. Because if we're really wanting to achieve great things, we need to work hard. We need to be above average. So we need to work above average as well.
Beautifully said. Good job,
Thank
Hadeer.
you.
That's great advice. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today. I am just thrilled that you are where you are now and you've achieved this higher level of confidence and in your voice and that skill set. And I know you're going to continue to just keep growing and building and flourishing in the settings that you choose and the way that you put that passion, wherever you decide to put your passion, I know you're going to do amazing things. So thank you so much for sharing with us today, Hadier.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, for anyone who is just now so inspired by Hadeer and her journey, we would love to work with you here at Pronunciation Pro. Definitely go to pronunciationpro.com and I'll have some links in the bios that you can come check us out. Again, just like Hadeer, she did the group lessons for a while until she kind of felt that like she was ready for that private training. And we have quite a few who do the group lessons, and that's all that they do, and they achieve incredible results. And then like Hadeer, she was like, this directly affects my earning potential. And so this is an investment I'm going to put into it. And so getting that one-on-one definitely took her to that next level. And that's available at Pronunciation Pro as well. So we would love to have you and come join us and that our amazing community. Our community needs you. All right. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Pronunciation Pro.
Pronunciation Pro.
Pronunciation Pro.